if you were to open up a brick and mortar business, you would have to first come up with a name for it. And that's just what the domain name is. Now, hosting is like the physical address of your business. There are two reasons to have a website. First, to provide information to visitors to the site with no barriers whatsoever, no advertising. This is primarily what government websites are, but everybody else uses a website for the other reason, which is to create revenue, to support a company or a group. So we have to plan what's going to happen when a visitor visits our site. Better yet, before they visit our site, because there's actually ways you can capture information from your visitors before they get to your site. And that's kind of what I'm getting to. You have to capture their information. We've all seen it, getting emails. And why do you want their emails? So you can send out offers to them whenever you want and let them know what's going on in real time versus waiting for them to visit your site again. The other reason you'd want to do that is you can put advertising in front of your customers or the people that visited your site, even if they never even bought from you before. But if they show interest in what you have to offer them, you want to make sure to be in front of them, because they may not be ready to buy just because they're on your site. They may be ready to buy it some other time. So the whole idea here is to reverse engineer the whole point of having a website instead of starting out with the website first. You want to just consider a few things, and you may actually end up changing your initial idea of what your website is, the name of it or how it's going to look, when you go through these steps. First, you want to know what people are willing to buy. A lot of people show interest in things, but they don't buy. A lot of people like Facebook pages or are part of groups and other parts of the social media, but they're not in that group to purchase anything. They might be interested in helping animals. They might like pictures of little puppy dogs in cages that are homeless, but they're not going to spend any money to help that little puppy dog. On the other hand, you might find other sites or other groups of people that are willing to spend money to save a dog or to buy puppy apparel. That's just an example. So you got to know what people are willing to buy and what groups of people are willing to buy, and find out what you can offer these people. So once you find out what groups of people are willing to buy something, what are you able to provide them that they would be interested in? So a lot of this is done through affiliates, programs, or JV partners, or having your own products is certainly possible. But affiliate programs most commonly are Amazon. You can sign up for Amazon and have a link from Amazon where anybody that purchases off your link, you make money. JV partners, you might have somebody in your local town that you want to share information that they have, and they want to, you can help them out by giving your list of people that are interested in what they might have an offer to your people from your friend. So your friend has an offer, they want to give half off something on their local business, and so you would send out to your list about that offer. That's a JV partner. So it's not your product, it's your friend's product. And then you have your own products you can offer them. So you got to build your site. So there's a picture of a site. So once the site's built, it just sits there unless you tell a few people about it. But the most productive way to do that is through social media, so like Twitter, for example. Now, to give you an idea like about Twitter, the more the better. So there's a way that you can send out automatic tweets, but you would write the best is to write your tweets yourself, but then have them go out. So I've heard up to 40 tweets a day, or every half hour a tweet going out with some really good information that people would be interested in or would help them out, and then a link to your site as part of that tweet. So you got to really pump it up, a lot of tweets. Same with Instagram, same idea. You got to do as much as you can. Facebook and YouTube. So you find your domain name, which you may have already done, and then you got to have a place to put your domain. So that's your hosting account. Now I used HostGator, and they are very inexpensive. Like I think it's $3 or $4 a month for the kind of plan that 90% of us would need to use. It wouldn't be until you had like a whole lot of visitors and people buying stuff off your site that you would have to go to a more expensive plan, but it wouldn't matter because you'd be making money. You could pay for it. So domain name, business name, and then the hosting account is actually a physical place around the country where your files are stored, the files being what makes your website. So there's codes on there that tell the files how to interact with each other. So if you have pictures that create the website, and words. That's all there. So what I use is WordPress, and I don't know what the statistic is. It's got to be like probably 60% of all websites in the country or maybe the world are WordPress websites. And so what that means is that WordPress, being a blogging platform, they have all these files that they already created. The coding is already done, and so it's very easy to add pages, and all you do is you just upload the files to your hosting account that has your domain name on it. Otherwise you got to pay somebody to build all the files using HTML, like you see in that picture there, PHP, and various other kinds of programming. So to build those files, you'd have to pay somebody, or figure it out yourself. It would take a long time. So WordPress is one of a number of ways that you can just upload these files automatically and then create the site to look however you want it to look. And getting a little further down the road, I just want to mention one other element that could come into play, which is called a FTP, which stands for File Transfer Protocol, I believe. And I use a program called FileZilla. I'll just pop it open here. But so, for example, this area here, this is my computer right here, and these are all the files on my computer. If I click on a file, OneNote, if I click on and these files are here in that. So I open up that file, then you can see it down here. Now over here, it's not connected to my hosting account. It's not connected to my server at my hosting account. So when I connect it by adding my username and passwords, I can just take this and drag it over and drop it, and it'll just copy over. So that way I don't have to go into my hosting account like GoDaddy or HostGator. I don't have to log in there to move files around, because if you do that, believe me, this is just a simpler way to do it. And this is how anybody that's going to do it that you may ask for help from. So if you hire somebody to do something on your website, they're going to need an FTP account. So what that means is a particular password that allows them to get into your site and add files and delete files. You can change the password later, so it's not like any kind of security risk, and frankly most of our websites nobody really cares anyway. There's nothing of value for them anyway. And so you give them the password, and then you can change it later. Down the road you'll want to know what an FTP account is, and when somebody asks you, hey, give me your FTP account password so I can get into your site, you'll know it's okay to do that, and that's what they're going to do. Here's another picture of that.